The James Webb Space Telescope, also known as the JWST, is humanity's most powerful and advanced telescope, often called our greatest eye in space. It orbits far beyond Earth, resting in a very cold and dark spot in space called Lagrange Point 2. For some context, the distance of Lagrange Point 2 from Earth is approximately 1.5 million kilometers, about 1 million miles, and is located on the opposite side of Earth from the Sun, making it about 4 times farther away than the Moon. This special position lets it look deep into the universe, all the way back to near the very beginning of time. Recently, JWST has found some strange and surprising signals that don't fit what scientists expected, starting debates that ripple through the scientific community because the discoveries challenge everything we thought we knew about the universe. Before diving deeper, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons to stay updated on these exciting discoveries. For decades, scientists believe the universe started very small and grew slowly. So, we expected JWST to find tiny so-called proto-galaxies in the universe's very early years. That is, the first few 100 million years after the Big Bang, when stars and galaxies were just beginning to appear. But, instead of a quiet and slow-growing nursery, it found enormous, very mature structures hiding behind thick clouds of cosmic dust that no telescope before could see. What is even more startling is that it spotted supermassive black holes. Black holes with masses millions or even hundreds of millions of times bigger than our Sun, already fully formed when the universe was less than 1 billion years old. To put this into perspective, one of these black holes is estimated to be about 300 million times the mass of the Sun, which is so huge it's hard to imagine. Now, this is why it's so surprising. Black holes grow by pulling in gas and stars around them. If we go by the laws of science, this process should have taken billions of years. But that's the problem, because according to our knowledge of current physics, there simply wasn't enough time for these early black holes to grow so huge so quickly immediately after the Big Bang. Unless what we know as the blueprints for the universe's construction are wrong. But are they? You see, scientists came up with one popular idea, that the black holes grow by so-called cosmic cannibalism. In simpler terms, they merge together and become bigger, which is very plausible because JWST gave strong proof for this when it captured the earliest and most distant black hole merger ever seen. This discovery confirmed that black hole collisions were probably an important way for these giants to grow at the dawn of the cosmos. But there's just one downside to this theory. Cosmic cannibalism still doesn't explain the huge number and size of these black holes. For this to make sense, black holes would have to collide again and again and again at an almost unbelievable rate, which might not have been possible. But there's another possibility we've not explored yet. Usually, we think that black holes grow inside galaxies from smaller cracks in stars. But what if it doesn't? What if black holes actually form first and act like a powerful anchor or frame that pulls everything else together to build the galaxy? Scientists have begun exploring this possibility, and it has brought new attention to something called the heavy seed hypothesis. In simple terms, this theory suggests that in the very early universe, huge clouds of gas could have collapsed directly into a giant black hole all at once, without forming stars first. However, this idea also raises a huge problem. Normally, massive clouds of gas break apart into smaller pieces to make lots of stars, not just one giant object. So, how could a huge black hole form without those fragments? This creates a very big mystery, yet to be solved. Thanks to JWST, we are beginning to notice some of these cosmic oddities, and the black holes are just one of them. Not too far from us, only about 1,350 light-years away in the Orion Nebula, JWST found another completely unexpected oddity. It discovered pairs of objects that are each about the size and mass of Jupiter, orbiting each other without any star nearby. Scientists call these Jupiter Mass Binary Objects, or JUMBOs for short. But here's the problem. According to the best theories of star and planet formation, these kinds of objects shouldn't even exist. Planets usually form in disks of material spinning around a star. But in this case, there's no star. Some planets get thrown out of their home systems violently and become so-called rogue planets. But that kind of violent ejection should break apart any pairs. Yet, JWST found dozens of these pairs, meaning they are far more common than anyone expected. And no one knows why, not even the scientists that named them jumbos. Even an ESA scientist named Stefano Carniani, who's involved in this research, said it very clearly. There must be something wrong with our understanding of how planets or stars form, or maybe both. This is a perfect example of the repeating pattern of discoveries in the James Webb era. We are living in a time full of big, new mysteries that challenge everything that we thought was settled science. And he's right, especially the part when he said that there must be something wrong with our understanding of how planets or stars form. You see, according to the cosmological principle, if you look at the universe on a very large scale, it should look the same no matter which way you look. For example, if you count the galaxies that spin clockwise, you should find about the same number spinning counterclockwise. But recently, something surprising came up. Using the JWST, scientists looked at 263 galaxies that are very, very far away. They found that roughly 2/3 of these galaxies seem to be spinning the same way. Well, if this result is true, it could break the cosmological principle. The idea of the universe being the same in every direction might not be correct after all. So how could this happen? One interesting possibility that scientists are talking about is that maybe, just maybe, the whole universe itself is spinning. This spin could have come from the moment the universe was created, when everything began spinning from the very start. There's a speculative or highly imaginative theory that fits with this idea. It suggests that our universe might have been born inside a black hole formed from a star collapsing in a universe with more dimensions than we can see. It's not a widely accepted idea yet, but it is fascinating because the data from the James Webb Telescope is pushing scientists to consider some truly strange ideas. Ideas that, until now, were mostly on the edges of scientific thinking. All these strange findings are forcing scientists to rethink many things. How galaxies are born, how planets and stars form, and even the fundamental rules that govern the universe's overall shape and balance. The James Webb Space Telescope was designed to find answers, but it's actually created even more questions than we expected. However, it's good in a way, because when the models we rely on break down, that's when real breakthroughs begin, because only then do we get to reimagine the universe in completely new ways. What we're discovering shows exactly what Werner Heisenberg said over half a century ago. Not only is the universe stranger than we think, it is stranger than we can think.